Hi everyone, it's Ellen from Classroom Unbound, and today I wanted to show you our September morning basket. So these are the books that we'll be going through the month of September. I did share how I do our morning baskets in August, and we went through most of those books, and I've made some changes for September for just our needs. And here are the books that we have, and here is all that is contained in our morning basket. So first thing I'll do on the side before I forget, I have decided to keep track of all of the poems that we are memorizing by putting them on a clip and on an index card. And so the first one we did was the Goops, and so every month, or excuse me, every few weeks when we memorize a new poem, I'll just add them on here, and then we just go through it one time each morning. And the first few times I'm reading through it, and then as we keep going, then I'll have the children try to recite as much as they can remember first, and then I will read it on here, and we'll see how fast we can memorize each one. And that's just basically to help them work on memorizing and also learning and knowing good writing. So the read aloud that we will be reading for September, at least the first part of September, is Ida B by Catherine Hannigan. And we finished Trumpet of the Swan already, which was our first read aloud in August. We actually finished Trumpet of the Swan today, so this is the newest book. We haven't started this one yet. So we'll start this one tomorrow, and this is something that we do read every day, or read aloud. Then we have our Story of the World, which is Volume 2, The Middle Ages, what we're working through this year, and this we'll just work on twice a week. We have Mellie and Kayla, Virtue Book for Children. We started this one last year and we didn't get all the way through, so I thought that we could start off this year by finishing up this book. And it's always a good time for character education, so that's why I added this one. And we like the story of the two and the adventures that they go on. We have Discovering Great Artists. I realized that last year I didn't focus that much on art, so my oldest kind of has trouble being creative and making his own work. So I thought maybe if we studied other arts and he saw other ideas of arts and kind of what they did and what it looked like, then maybe he could understand that everything doesn't have to be perfect. We can just do whatever you're able to do. He's kind of a perfectionist in that aspect. So wanted to really focus on art this month. So I have that one. Poetry and Tea Time Companion. The kids are really loving having poetry and tea time. So we'll continue to go through this. And this, if you haven't seen it before, has little poem and art. So we'll discuss this. And this will be the main one that we kind of go through. But I have other poetry books. And my idea is to just lay the poetry books on the table. And we have tea and cookies or muffins or something. And then we just, each child can just point to a book, pick one out, and we'll read it. We have Ready for School Murphy. So this is just one picture book that I have for now, but I'll trade these out every few days. So this is just the first one. And the picture books for this month, I don't really have a rhyme or reason for these. If I see something that has like nice pictures or is related to a topic that we're talking about, I'll pull in a picture book. Lollipop Logic. So we're going to work through book 1 together. The first part is already done. But I wanted to work on these here, like it has like a paragraph, a description, and it gives you clues, and then you have to find out who brought each vegetable based on the clues that were given. And of course, not all the clues are given, or not. It doesn't tell you who it is. You have to figure it out. So I want to work on these together so we can work on our deduction skills. And so there's a few in here that I want to work on, and then we'll work through these together as well. We have the Children's Interactive Story of Art, and this was recommended by the Build Your Library. So we'll use this to go through art and just have a little bit more art appreciation. I think we could all use that in our life, and especially us. Alphabet sound chart. This is what I'm using for my 4-year-old. So we just go through the sounds. We go through all of the sounds every day, but she's up to D now, being able to recognize or being able to identify the sound. Like if I say, what does A say? She says, ah, and then we just go down. She can do these by herself, and then we just go through all of them. And then I use this with my 6-year-old as well. Like if he is reading something and he forgets a letter sound, I'll show him this, and then we find it and he makes the sound and can continue reading the word. This is just a bookmark that fell out. We have a child's introduction to poetry, and this one my kids are loving as well. So we use this along with the poetry and tea time, or poetry and tea companion. And going through this is also from Build Your Library recommended book. And this month we are going to focus on colors in German. So just every day, just go through the colors one time and memorize them. And then this one, 52 weeks of family German. So we will go through this. We've already been through the first 2 weeks, so we'll just continue on. And then this is just, if you haven't seen this book, just a real simple breakdown. So for instance, week 3, we're talking about greetings. So here it'll tell you the German, it writes it actually in German, and then also like how it sounds if you were to read it phonetically. So wie geht es Ihnen, or wie geht es dir, which is how are you. Es geht mir gut, so you can kind of see how it sounds here. And so he's saying I'm good. And then it gives like a grammar note, a cultural note, and here's an idea for how you can incorporate it into your family. So it's the same thing every week, so for 52 weeks. So we'll continue working on that one. Then we also have the Toddler Handbook, 100 words, English, German. So this is something that we just flip through and just kind of say the different letters we see and the different pictures, and we'll say it in English and in German. Just a real simple, casual learning another language. And then lastly, we are going through building foundations of scientific understanding. So this is what we're using on Fridays. We're using this one on Science Fridays. So we've done the first couple of lessons, and so this week we'll be doing week 3. So air is a substance. So I read through this and then find ways to incorporate the objectives throughout the week. And then Fridays where we'll do like a big understanding time. Like if I use a whiteboard, like last week we talked about solids, liquids, and gases. So I used a whiteboard and we talked about different things that were solids, liquids, and gases. Or we'll do a science experiment somehow from this book on Friday. So this is our Science Fridays that we're using. And that is it for this month for our morning basket. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section below. And like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.